Welcome, travel enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into some of the most unusual and surprising travel rules from across the globe. Whether it's dining etiquette, public behavior, or unique customs, each country has its own way of doing things. Knowing these rules not only helps you fit in, but can also save you from some unexpected fines or awkward moments. So, get ready to be amazed by these 10 surprising travel rules around the world. Number 10. No high heels at ancient sites in Greece. If you're planning to visit Greece, particularly its treasured ancient ruins, you might be surprised to find a rule prohibiting high heels at these sites. This ban was introduced in 2009 as a measure to protect Greece's archaeological treasures. High heels, due to their concentrated pressure points, can damage the ancient stone surfaces that have endured the elements for centuries. Greece's rich history is etched in these stones, and the government is committed to preserving them for future generations. The sites, such as the Acropolis and the Temple of Apollo, are not only architecturally stunning, but hold deep historical and cultural significance. These structures have stood the test of time, witnessing the rise and fall of civilizations. Allowing visitors to walk across them freely is a privilege that Greece takes seriously, ensuring that the foot traffic doesn't cause gradual degradation. The rule highlights Greece's dedication to protecting its cultural heritage, especially given the number of tourists visiting these ancient sites every year. For travelers, it's an opportunity to experience the history of Greece up close, while respecting its conservation efforts. So, when you're packing, consider swapping your high heels for comfortable flat-soled shoes that will let you walk with ease and respect through these ancient grounds. This rule serves as a reminder that some of the world's oldest wonders need a little extra care, and we're all a part of their preservation. Number 9. Singapore's chewing gum ban. Singapore is famous for its clean streets, a reputation built in part on strict rules and meticulous city planning. In 1992, the government took a bold step by banning chewing gum entirely, an unusual but effective approach to maintaining cleanliness. Before the ban, chewing gum had become a significant problem, with pieces frequently found stuck to public property, subway doors, and even elevator buttons. The cost of removing the gum and the damage it caused to the infrastructure became an unnecessary expense for the city. Under this ban, the sale and import of chewing gum are restricted, though medicinal gum prescribed by a doctor is permitted in small amounts. The city enforces this rule strictly, with fines imposed on those caught violating it. Singapore's approach to public cleanliness goes beyond gum. Littering, graffiti, and other public disturbances are also met with heavy fines. This dedication to cleanliness is evident in the way the city's parks, streets, and public spaces are kept in pristine condition. For tourists, it's a good reminder to be mindful of local rules, especially those as unique as Singapore's. While it might seem excessive, the chewing gum ban has proven effective in making Singapore one of the cleanest cities in the world. By respecting these rules, visitors contribute to maintaining the high standard of public cleanliness that Singaporeans are so proud of. Number 8. Mind your P's and Q's in Japan's public baths. Japan's onsen, or hot springs, are more than just a place to relax. They are deeply rooted in tradition and ritual. When visiting an onsen, one of the most important rules to note is that many of them prohibit guests with visible tattoos. In Japan, tattoos are historically linked to the Yakuza, the country's organized crime groups, and this association has led to a cultural stigma around tattoos, particularly in public places like baths and gyms. Though this perception is changing, especially with the increase in tourism, many traditional onsen still uphold this rule. Some establishments have become more flexible, allowing visitors with small tattoos or providing stickers to cover them. However, it's best to research the specific onsen's policies beforehand to ensure a smooth visit. Observing the proper etiquette, such as washing thoroughly before entering the communal bath, is also important, as cleanliness is highly valued in Japanese bathing culture. Respecting these traditions offers a richer experience, allowing visitors to connect more deeply with Japanese culture. The onsen experience is intended to be one of tranquility, cleansing, and spiritual renewal, and following the rules allows everyone to enjoy it respectfully. For tattooed travelers, seeking out tattoo-friendly onsen is becoming easier, but understanding the cultural background helps to appreciate why this rule exists in the first place. Number 7. No camouflage clothing in the Caribbean. The Caribbean may be synonymous with relaxation, but there's one fashion rule tourists need to be aware of. Camouflage clothing is a big no-no. In countries like Barbados, Jamaica, and St. Lucia, only military personnel are allowed to wear camouflage, and civilians, including tourists, are prohibited from donning this pattern. This law is strictly enforced, with violators facing fines, confiscation, or even detainment in some instances. The reasoning behind this rule is rooted in safety and clarity. By restricting camouflage to military use, Caribbean countries aim to avoid confusion and maintain a clear distinction between civilians and armed forces. It's a precaution that helps authorities manage security situations more effectively. Additionally, in areas where military presence is heightened, this distinction helps locals and tourists alike recognize official personnel at a glance. For travelers, this rule might seem surprising, especially since camouflage clothing is popular worldwide. But it's important to respect local regulations, especially when it comes to customs that may differ significantly from what we're used to. Instead, embrace the tropical colors and styles typical of the Caribbean and leave the camo gear behind to avoid any unnecessary hassle during your vacation. Number 6. Don't feed the pigeons in Venice, Italy. Venice, with its canals and historic architecture, draws millions of visitors each year. St. Mark's Square, a central landmark, used to be famous for the flocks of pigeons that gathered to be fed by tourists. However, in 2008, Venice banned feeding pigeons to address the issues these birds were causing. Pigeon droppings not only create a mess, but are highly acidic, and over time, they cause significant damage to Venice's delicate marble statues and historical buildings. The city enacted this rule to preserve its priceless architecture and reduce cleanup costs. The buildup of droppings was making it harder to maintain the city's charm, as Venice's architecture is already vulnerable due to constant exposure to the water in the canals. By keeping the pigeons at bay, Venice can ensure that its historic sites remain protected for future generations to enjoy. For tourists, this rule means adjusting your expectations about interacting with wildlife in the city. While it might have been a popular activity in the past, feeding pigeons now carries a fine of up to €500. Instead, visitors can enjoy the beauty of Venice's architecture, take in its rich history, and capture scenic photos without the pigeons swarming around, helping preserve Venice's beauty and charm. Number 5. Fines for running out of gas on the Autobahn in Germany. Germany's Autobahn is a marvel of modern engineering, known for its stretches without speed limits, allowing cars to reach exhilarating speeds. However, driving on the Autobahn requires responsibility and preparedness. One strict rule on the Autobahn is that running out of gas is considered preventable, and therefore, if you're caught stranded on the road due to an empty tank, you could face a fine. This rule may seem harsh, but it's designed to promote safety. Stopping on the Autobahn can create hazardous situations, given the high speeds at which cars travel. Germany considers running out of gas a form of driver negligence, as it's seen as something that could have been avoided with proper planning. Walking along the Autobahn is also prohibited, so finding yourself on foot due to an empty tank could lead to additional penalties. For travelers planning a road trip through Germany, this rule emphasizes the importance of preparation. Make sure to plan fuel stops and take advantage of the well-placed gas stations along the Autobahn. Observing this rule not only helps you avoid fines, but also contributes to the overall safety and efficiency of one of the world's most famous highway systems. Number 4. No kissing at train stations in France. France, the land of romance, might seem like an odd place to have a rule against kissing, but in certain train stations, this is indeed the case. Dating back to 1910, The rule was introduced to prevent delays caused by long, passionate goodbyes on the platforms. Train operators noticed that couples were slowing down departures, and this ban was a creative solution to keep the trains running on time. While it might sound strict, the rule is mostly symbolic today, and you're unlikely to be fined for a brief goodbye kiss. However, it's still advised to be mindful and keep farewells concise, especially during busy travel times. The rule has become a quirky part of French history, blending romance with practicality, and reflects the value the French place on efficiency in public transportation. For travelers, it's a fun insight into France's blend of romance and order. Embrace the opportunity to say your farewells before stepping onto the platform, or if you can't resist a quick kiss, make it brief. Understanding these small customs can enhance your travel experience, adding depth and a touch of humor to your French adventure. Number 3. Respect. Quiet hours in Switzerland. Switzerland is a country that values peace, tranquility, and respect for one's neighbors, and this appreciation for quiet is reflected in its laws. In many Swiss cantons, there are designated quiet hours, usually between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m., during which residents are expected to keep noise to a minimum. Activities like mowing the lawn, vacuuming, or playing loud music are discouraged or even prohibited during these times. These rules are deeply ingrained in Swiss culture, emphasizing a respect for personal space and peace within residential communities. In some areas, even flushing the toilet or taking a shower late at night might be considered impolite. Swiss authorities enforce these quiet hours, and some landlords even include noise restrictions in rental agreements, with penalties for those who disturb their neighbors. For travelers, this is a reminder to be mindful of local customs, particularly when staying in residential neighborhoods or apartment rentals. Observing these quiet hours is not just about avoiding fines, it's a way to respect the Swiss way of life. Embracing the tranquility can also be a refreshing change, allowing visitors to unwind and enjoy Switzerland's calm, peaceful atmosphere. Number 2. No pointing in Malaysia. In Malaysia, pointing with your index finger is considered impolite, and many locals see it as a confrontational gesture. Instead, Malaysians use their thumb, with fingers curled, to indicate directions or objects. This gesture is more respectful and is widely accepted across the country, reflecting Malaysia's emphasis on courtesy and politeness in social interactions. This rule may seem minor, but understanding and respecting it can make a positive impression on locals. Whether you're asking for directions or pointing something out, using your thumb instead of your index finger shows cultural awareness. Many Southeast Asian cultures share similar customs, and avoiding finger pointing is a way to blend in respectfully. For travelers, small adjustments like these can enhance interactions and show a genuine interest in the local culture. Embracing these customs allows you to experience Malaysia with an open mind and heart, creating a smoother, more enjoyable journey where cultural differences are celebrated rather than overlooked. Number 1. No flipping the bird in the United Arab Emirates. The United Arab Emirates is known for its modern skyscrapers, luxury shopping, and vibrant cultural scene. However, it also has strict laws regarding public behavior, and gestures like flipping the bird, raising your middle finger, are taken very seriously. In the UAE, rude gestures, shouting, or any public display of anger can result in fines, jail time, or even deportation, reflecting the country's values around public decorum and respect. The UAE places a high emphasis on maintaining peace and civility in all public spaces. This extends to social media, where rude comments or arguments can lead to penalties as well. Even in private settings, residents and visitors alike are expected to act respectfully, with self-control and courtesy seen as vital aspects of Emirati culture. For travelers, this rule serves as a reminder to remain calm and composed, even in frustrating situations. Understanding and respecting these values can ensure a smooth, enjoyable stay in the UAE. By embracing a mindset of patience and respect, visitors can experience the UAE's hospitality and unique cultural blend in the best possible light. And there you have it. 10 fascinating travel rules that prove every country has its own way of doing things. Being aware of these surprising customs and laws helps you travel more respectfully and avoid unintentional faux pas. So next time you're packing for an adventure, keep these tips in mind and enjoy a smoother journey. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe for more travel insights, and we'll see you in the next adventure.